The Bethesda gods have finally blessed all of us ghoul mains out in the wasteland. Sadly, it's not with new content, but it's the next best thing. Minerva's big sale is back, and I know what you're thinking, but hang on, this one might just be the best lineup possible for any ghoul character, melee or ranged. Now, she's only sticking around from September 18th through the 22nd, so you gotta act fast. She won't be around forever with this same inventory. And of course, don't click off the video if you're not a ghoul main. There's still some absolute must grabs in her inventory this big sale. If you're new to Fallout 76, Minerva is a traveling vendor who shows up every so often selling gold bullion plans at a discount. Now, she will spawn in a different location every single week, and this week she's probably in her easiest location, but you could find her right outside of Whitespring. Just fast travel to the exterior and she'll be waiting for you right in front of the main doors. No quests, no requirements, just walk up and shop from her full inventory. It's not that difficult. So again, she's right outside of Whitespring. When Minerva comes back next, I think in 2 weeks or something like that, maybe another week, she will be in a different location. So this week, she's at Whitespring. And I know I hear you asking yourself, why is this sale such a big deal for ghouls specifically? And I'll tell you, it comes down to two insanely rare armor sets that you'll definitely want to get in whatever build you're trying to run with your ghoul. Now, first up, I probably want to talk about the most important armor set that you could get for your ghoul character, whether you're a melee build or ranged, it doesn't matter, and that's going to be the Brotherhood Recon Armor. Now, this set is one of the rarest in the game because it could only drop from daily ops, which you could only do one a day to get the special plan, or you could get it from Minerva whenever her inventory circles over it, and I believe that she sells it twice a year. So that's a pretty good way to get it. And here's why it's so important for all ghoul characters to have. Now, compared to the Secret Service or even the Civil Engineer armor, the Recon armor gives you overall higher DR, and it even makes you tankier for a ghoul, which is just insane, but the icing on the cake is that it has a lower Rand resistance. Now, that's a win-win because it lets you keep your glow active for all that extra DPS and health, and then obviously you do have a nice set of DR there also, which is going to be higher than the Secret Service, so you will be even more of a tank. So you have extra armor, you have the full glow bar on your ghoul because you know, you're going to glow from radiation, and you can do some extra DPS and get some extra health, and then also reduce your staggering or something like that, and then you'll have your main health bar that they'll have to go through. So you're basically just turning yourself into a glowing tank with this one. It's probably the best armor set to rock with your ghoul characters. Even if you're not a ghoul, again, this armor is insanely rare to get. You're probably not going to get it from doing daily ops. I promise you, I have over 2,000 hours in this game, and I have not gotten a single, like, full set of the Brotherhood Recon Armor only from daily ops. I've always had to wait to get it from Minerva on every single one of my characters. So just keep that in mind if you are looking to 100% the game, or even get your hands on one of the better pieces of armor in the entire game because you can't afford the Secret Service, or you're just tired of using the Secret Service, or again, you're a ghoul character, the Brotherhood Recon Armor is going to be the one for you. This is probably going to be Minerva's best sale, period, even though she does sell the Secret Service armor. However, you could get the Secret Service armor once you beat the game if you have enough gold. Brotherhood Recon Armor, definitely a little bit rare, has a higher DR than the Secret Service, and has a lower radiation resistance. So just keep that in mind. I did say that there are two pieces of armor that you're going to want to grab if you're a ghoul, and the second set that I want to talk about is going to be the Thorn Armor. Now, while not as powerful as the Brotherhood Recon Armor, it's still incredibly rare, and it works beautifully on all melee builds, especially the ghoul melee builds, because you're going to be at full health, so you'll get all of the bonuses. Now, when you're rocking the full set, melee attackers take bleed damage every time they hit you. Since melee ghoul builds are always going to be right in the enemy's face, that effect adds up quickly. It's a solid pickup if you want a fun alternative, or you're chasing a full health melee build, which you would only do if you're a ghoul. Now, personally, I do recommend that you get the Brotherhood Recon Armor if you can only get one of these, just because it is going to be significantly more useful, and you could also put better legendary effects on it to kind of outweigh the Thorn's positives and everything like that. So just keep that in mind. However, if you were looking for a light piece of armor, the Thorn Armor is going to be it. Or if you had a sneak Ghoul build, the Thorn Armor is going to be probably your number one pick. However, for mostly all other Ghoul builds, it's going to be the Brotherhood Recon Armor. And then obviously, since it is so rare, I highly suggest that even if you're not a Ghoul character, you grab the Brotherhood Recon Armor and you grab the Thorns Armor just to throw it on display, because you probably won't get the actual opportunity to get at least the Brotherhood Recon Armor, or you probably won't go through and buy the Thorns Armor at full price, because you're probably not going to use it unless you're running a melee Ghoul build. And of course, like I said, Minerva's sale isn't just for ghouls. There are a few other must-have items in her inventory right now that I suggest pretty much any player grab, again, especially if you're a lower level. I have 3 of them here that I think that you should probably grab, or at least that stand out to me. One of them is kind of niche only if you're running a specific build, or if you're going to want to run that specific build in the future. And then the first one that we're going to start off here with, the Gauss Minigun, is easily the standout of the bunch on here. It's probably going to be the best gold plan that Minerva has, period. It is probably going to be one of at least the best weapon that she has, period. You can't really argue about that. But it just got a major buff with the most recent update. If you haven't picked one up, now's the time. This weapon will straight up carry your build, especially if you're a lower level character trying to push into that end game. If you're a heavy weapons build, this is obviously just a must-have. It doesn't really matter what your main is. I highly suggest that you have this thing. I know it is a little bit costly on the ammo, however, it is worth it, I promise you, because of the amount of damage that you could do. And again, they turned this thing into the boss killer that it once was. They did fix it up and everything like that recently, and it just feels so much better after the most recent update. So if you haven't gotten the chance to get one of these, I highly suggest you get it on a discount. You can grab the mods for it as well, but just make sure that you get the actual Gauss Minigun, because that's the most expensive one. But again, it's probably one of the better weapons in the game. I would definitely put it in the top 5 heavy weapons, maybe even the top 3 heavy weapons in the entire game. So now's your chance to get it at a discount. Again, if you're lower level and if you're struggling with weapons, grab this thing, make it. I promise you, it's going to carry you through pretty much all of the game's content. Next, I wanted to mention that little niche weapon. It's going to be the Gauss Shotgun. While it's may not be the number 1 shotgun in the game anymore, it's kind of like up there with the cold shoulder, you know what I mean? But it's still in the top tier of weapons, especially if you're going to be running a shotgun build. If you're fully maxed out for a shotgun build, this thing could do some serious work. I mean, again, it's not going to be a boss killer or anything like that, because it's just not the meta of the game, but it's definitely good enough to warrant grabbing. I promise you, you're going to want to get your hands on it if you're thinking about running a shotgun build. If you're never going to touch shotguns in the entire game, then maybe go ahead and skip it. But if you're a higher level and if you're sitting there, you don't have it bought, do yourself a favor, buy it, try out a Gauss Shotgun build. I promise it's not as bad as you think. Again, it's the perfect entry point at a discount for shotgun builds. If you're lower level and you're like, oh man, I really want to play this game with shotguns because I loved shotguns in Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 or New Vegas or whatever, go ahead, grab it. Now's your chance to get it for a discount again, and it's a lot easier to get than the cold shoulder. So if you do plan on having a shotgun character, this is going to be the way for you. Grab this and you won't really have to worry about weapons for the entire game. And then finally, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is not going to be a weapon, it's not going to be armor, but it's actually a camp item, and it's so helpful. Now, that's going to be the ammo converter. It's not as flashy as the other 2 on this list, but it helps you dump all the extra ammo that you'll never use and trade it for stuff you actually can. Now, it's not a drop everything and buy it right now kind of item, but if you don't already own it, snag it. It'll pay for itself over time. Plus, you could always exploit it, make a bunch of cannonballs, make a bunch of rail spikes, and then convert it into a bunch of points, and then get some harder to craft ammo, like, you know, all the energy ammos and everything like that. So if you are a lower level player, or if you just beat the game or something like that, and if you have some gold to spend, but you don't have that much ammo, and you don't have resources to make ammo, and you can't farm daily ops or expeditions, ammo converter is a nice little cheap way around that. And there we have it, ladies and gents of the Wasteland. We made it to the end of another Fallout 76 video. I hope you found it useful. If you have a ghoul character, but you don't have an endgame set of armor, now's your chance to grab probably the best armor in the game for ghouls, and one of the best armor sets in the entire game period, the Brotherhood of Steel Recon Armor set, and just make sure you do that. If you get anything on this list, make sure it's that. Again, even if you're not a ghoul, the armor is incredibly rare to get, so I highly suggest if you want to collect everything, or just even if you wanted to test it out to see if it fits your playstyle, now is the time to do it. And as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video, and I'll see you out there in the wasteland.